Hi, I'm Esther, and I will be giving my opinion about the article of Time magazine that we had to read. It's called The Force of Nature. Yeah. So, for one, they pointed out that climate change is really active. I mean, climate change is happening, and that you cannot deny climate change, and that it will have an effect on the world that we live in, which I totally agree on. They're also saying that, yeah, people are really thinking about it, people are speaking about it, and that leaders are also talking about it and coming to conclusions about it. And they said that that's a very positive thing, which I absolutely agree with. Uh, once they referred to a and social and scientific test statistics that they made, and they said that crime would spike because of climate change, that migration would spike, and that productivity would also no would have a downfall. And I was thinking about this, and I thought, yeah, this is actually right, because what we saw this summer in Belgium was that there was a lot of floods, and if there would be more floods because the climate will get worse and worse and worse if we don't, well, especially if we don't do anything about it. Yeah, migration will spike because people can't live in certain places anymore. Yeah, crime, of course, too, because if you don't have a house, what are you supposed to do? And yet productivity goes down. I think that's a very logical factor. If you're not used to working in your environment anymore, or if you're not able to work in your environment, then productivity will automatically go down. Second, they pointed out, well, not necessarily in that order, but they also pointed out that if we want to do something about climate change, that there will have to be a system change, and that we have to start thinking in a really different way, which is true. And yeah, they also pointed out that a system change will require every country on every continent to work together, because they had an example. They pointed out China, which is the world's number one emitter, and they said that even though China is doing a lot about its emissions, yeah, that will actually all be useless. All the work will be useless. If the whole world doesn't act, everybody has to work together, and I do think that's a good thing. Although I do, in my opinion, some countries also really do emit more than other countries. So, according to me, some countries will have to do a lot more work than other countries. But that doesn't take anything away from the fact that we do all have to work together. As I continued reading, I actually read something which I found really interesting and which I had never read before. I think they literally said that, well, no, not literally said. I think they said that, so they basically said, okay, I'll put it this way. They basically said that we don't always realize how much the climate has actually taken part or been a deciding factor within our economy. Because now many people, they just go for money. Like, they're building coal mines for money. They're using emitting really badly emitting cars because it's cheaper. But people don't always really realize how important the role of a stable climate is for a stable economy. And we're just forgetting that. And we're continuing to build our economy, but our economy is breaking down our stable climate, which will probably also, after a while, have an effect on our economy. So it's not like you can just keep going with that economy and keep making money and not think about the climate. It's going to be important at a certain point. And I thought that that was really nicely put, and it really made me think about some things. Last but not least, I can't really give my opinion about this because I'm not an American myself. but they said that Americans, yeah, are actually quite concerned about climate change. And I do think that's a good fact. I mean, if I just if I just want to compare it to Belgium, I mostly see it with the youth, but like people are really trying to do their best, like eating less meat, buying less clothes, trying to take the bicycle, and yeah, people on their own are actually really concerned about the climate. And now they just really need the leaders and the countries and the people who are really important, the economists and everything to be on board to really make a change. And they also said everybody's talking about it. That's really good. We're talking a lot, but we need to take action, which is also kind of what they said in the other two articles, which we had to read. I know it's not really part of the video, but I like to say that too. I kind of saw that coming back in every article, and it's something that comes back like in general actually. And yeah, I do think that's interesting. People talk a lot, but they don't act. But acting is just exactly what's necessary.